Welcome to Business as Usual, Nashville's favorite business podcast. My name is Bailey Batilla. I'm the adult librarian at the Donaldson Branch Library.
And I'm Corey Frederick. I'm the branch manager at the Goodlettsville Branch Library.
And we are here with Sam Davidson with Nashville Entrepreneur Center. How are you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me today.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us. So, Sam, tell us about yourself, first off, and how you ended up at Nashville Entrepreneur.
You bet. I grew up here in Nashville, so I wasn't born here. I was born in Florida, but made my way up here when my family moved me here when I was 8 years old. So it wasn't my decision, but very glad that all transpired. Grew up here, went to high school in Nashville, went to college down in Birmingham, Alabama, came right back, worked in the hotel industry, the nonprofit sector, and then in 2006 became an entrepreneur. And it was never the plan. I didn't study business. That wasn't sort of who I thought I was destined to become. But when I started my first company, I was kind of hooked, or I knew that was the right groove for me. Just what it took to take an idea and actually turn it into reality. I went on over 17 years, started 4 different companies, and then in 2023, had a chance to come and sit in the CEO chair at the Nashville Entrepreneur Center. So really honored to do that and really proud of the work we've done so far.
Very cool.
Cool. You mentioned the National Entrepreneur Center. What is that and kind of how was that established?
You bet. So the Nashville Entrepreneur Center, the EC, we like to call it kind of in our local vernacular, is a nonprofit organization. We're about 15 years old. And we started really as a public-private partnership. So over 15 years ago, about 70 or so city leaders came together and said, look, for Nashville to keep being innovative, to keep being on the cutting edge, to continue to be a world-class city, we need a resource that can help people start companies because entrepreneurship is very hard to do. If you've never done it before, you can be confused about where to start, the first thing to do. And so a lot of very successful entrepreneurs and other civic leaders said, well, let's create something. So they looked around the country, saw some good examples. And then in 2010, the EC took root. And so it was established as a nonprofit organization. We're a nonprofit because we do not take equity or ownership in any company we help. But we exist to help make it easier. I don't want to say it makes anything easy as an entrepreneur, but at least easier to figure out how to start and how to grow a business in and around Nashville.
So you said that it's a public-private partnership. Could you explain that a little bit more for us?
Sure. So our structure is as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And that's important because, like I mentioned, we don't say, okay, we'd like to help you, but you got to give us, a cut of your profits or an ownership stake in your business. We don't do that. Yeah. We just say, come on down. And so we have both public partners and private partners. So we do profit with state and local governments who want to see this type of economic development, new companies, new jobs created in new industries or current industries that already do very well in Nashville, and then private donors as well. So those are individuals, those are companies who also want to support innovation and entrepreneurship. And so those are those industries. Historically, Chamber of Commerce had a lot to do with our founding, still very involved and supportive of our mission. And so those are some of the examples of those partnerships.
Okay, very cool.
Very cool. So what are some services that NEC offers small businesses?
We resource entrepreneurs in a few different ways. Number one, we have a monthly membership option. And so that's for the entrepreneur who maybe they're just at the idea stage and they're like, I need to work this out a little bit. Maybe they've been running a company for a few years and are stuck, or it don't always have to be a bad thing. Maybe they've like, I have a chance to really expand this, but I want to make sure I do it the right way. And so membership is a great fit for a few reasons. One, it gets you access to a network of over 100 volunteer advisors. So research shows the best thing you can do to grow your company is to get an advisor, a mentor. And so we want to connect entrepreneurs with a mentor, an advisor to guide them along this journey. We also, our building is located in the Trolley Barns over in South Bank neighborhood. We've been there for about 12 years. And so we have about 10,000 square feet of our building. Half our building is dedicated as co-working space where entrepreneurs can come and work every single day. They can take meetings there. They can come to any of our events or our classes there. And so that is a physical space that membership can afford them as well. The second big way we help in addition to membership is our accelerator programs. We have 5 accelerators, and accelerators designed within a 12-week time frame to walk you through some critical components educationally to grow your company. things like really understanding marketing or cash flow or hiring or growth strategy. And so we run all of those 5 accelerators concurrently. As of this recording, we're in about week 5 of 12. 3 are for small and new businesses. So one is called Takeoff. That's, again, we use some aviation metaphors here, but takeoff is, hey, I've got my flight plan. I'm ready to launch this thing. What are those critical first steps I cannot overlook? That is great for businesses just starting out up to about $50,000 in annual revenue. We don't have a hard cap at that, but generally the topics we cover and what it's applicable to. Once you hit that threshold, then we have a program called In-Flight. So I'm at cruising altitude. I want to get more efficient, continue to go far. And so In-Flight, again, small and new businesses doing about $50,000 in revenue, but really want to grow a different set of lessons that we walk through. And then Twin Day. Twin Day is our program for founders of color and is designed to connect them with resources that can really help their business grow as well. Then we have 2 that are industry-based, one for healthcare, one for fintech. Those are tech companies usually people raising money, venture capital, or will need to really scale their product. So folks can apply for those. We run all of those accelerators twice a year. So our next application window will formally open in May. That folks can apply for a September start.
Very cool.
Cool. And are those included with the membership, or that's a separate thing?
It's a separate
from the
fee, but we do offer a sliding scale. So we understand that not everybody yet has the resources, either money they've raised or revenue yet. And so each one has a different price point based on what we're offering, but we don't want to turn a founder away based on inability to pay. So we do have a needs-based assessment that's available to all those applicants.
Talking about your accelerator programs, is there sort of a requisite that a small business owner should meet before they try to get involved with one?
So generally, especially for those small and new businesses, we do like you to be in business. So we're set up. We've got our paperwork. And if you don't have that, again, that's where advisors can come in handy. And you don't have to jump into an accelerator for that. We can help walk you through your ideal business setup, what paperwork to file to be official. Generally, they are best, again, not limited to, but what we would call a full-time founder. And so side hustles are very popular. We love side hustles. It's a great way to test the business while you still might have the security or the routine of a day job and some other financial resources. That's great. But we get a lot of founders who are like, okay, I've sold this product or I've done this kind of on the side, but now I'm ready to jump. I really want to make this my full-time career. And so we walk a lot of people through that. So we just look at that as a commitment level because our classes usually are during the day. So they're not at night. They're not on the weekends. So usually we do like somebody who can make that time and come to those courses because the community is such a big part of it. Entrepreneurship can be so lonely, and entrepreneurs need to connect with one another. They need to connect with a mentor.
Sure. And how did those accelerator programs sort of compare to similar programs at other organizations?
They complement each other, I think, very well. I know Corner to Corner is going to be on a future episode. We have a great pipeline, a great relationship with that organization. They're doing tremendous work. And so sometimes we can send folks kind of back and forth based on what they need. There are other resources in town. Conexión Americas is one of those that has business training in Spanish for folks starting a business in that community. So there's a lot of back and forth there that we love to see. I think the Nashville entrepreneurial ecosystem is so collaborative. And pridefully, I want to help every entrepreneur in town. Realistically, no way. I mean, there are so many entrepreneurs here or people moving here who want to and will become entrepreneurs. We can't. And so it behooves everyone to play well together, refer people back and forth to meet a need most immediately.
Sure.
Because if I just say, hey, great idea, see you in September. Well, that's months from now. And you need help. You need to grow now. And so whether that's an opening or a class that's about to start sooner, if it's a physical location, we've got a great space to work from, but we don't have a commercial kitchen. We don't have a maker space. So if you're making or starting a business that needs those resources, we want to push you out into those areas to get what you need now. And I think everybody's aligned to that.
And that's time for a shameless plug for NPL Means Business. That's sort of been our focus this whole time is to, we're not business experts, but we want to know where to send people to the business expert that they need. So
and that's what anybody who's starting a business, those who grow the best or the quickest or the fastest or pick your adjective, they're really good at asking for help. And who they ask for help may just be who's closest. So it could be anybody walking into any library branch. It could be visiting their alma mater here in town or locally. It could be a high school student. And so we absolutely want to have connection points so that people can say, hey, at least call the EC. I mean, back to our founding, that was really the mission, that there wasn't at least a central, we call it kind of the first stop or the front door. We're going to go first, even if I don't end up there. And so a lot of our job is, we offer free 15-minute consults for anybody. You fill out a form, somebody on our team will schedule a call, or you can come in and visit. And it starts with like, tell us what you're doing and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we say, awesome, I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so, or I'm going to send you over here because that's who's going to be able to help you the quickest.
Sure.
And so we still talk about what we do, but we don't own every entrepreneur here in town, and we're not the only way you can grow a business.
Very cool.
Gotcha. I know you mentioned some of the perks of becoming a member. How do you get involved? How do I become one?
Yeah, a couple different ways. One, if you are listening and you're an entrepreneur thinking about it, like I said, you can visit our website. You'll see the form there to fill out to contact us. We can schedule kind of that consult or that free tour. If you join, you can also just join online. You'll see we have a lot of perks, to your point, not just the space, but we have dedicated vendor network that offer entrepreneurs certain discounts, whether that's on branding services or legal or you name it. We have a lot of corporate partners as well who offer that. A big online community, because we get it. It can be hard. I know things are getting better now, but it can be hard to get around town or based on a schedule or a time of day. So we offer a lot virtually as well in terms of content. Any mentor can be booked virtually as well because we get it. Nashville is a growing city, but this is a growing region. And so the realities of going here to there with childcare, you name it, we want to be as accessible as possible. And then not just involved if you are or thinking about being an entrepreneur, but also if you want to be one of those mentors. We are always recruiting for subject matter and industry experts. So you could be a healthcare expert because you spend a lot of time there. You could be a marketing expert in a couple of different industries. We love that. So there's also an application on our website. We vet all of our mentors. We train all of our mentors because we want you to be as ready as possible to provide that advice to meet with our entrepreneurs. So ec.co is our website. You'll find all those links there. We welcome anybody who wants to, again, talk with us to see how we can help or volunteer with us. We thrive on that.
Very cool. Very cool. What financial resources or connections are available through NEC?
So there's a lot there. Entrepreneurs, I joke, I'm like, every entrepreneur just wants money, which is, again, we can, you want to, of course you want to make more, you want to sell more, you want to get more investment. Why not? I get it. We're welcome to capitalism. But so we help resource that in a couple of ways.
Yeah.
So one is, you need more sales. Most people aren't going to turn that down. So that's where some training will come in handy. So how can we go to market faster? How can we target our ideal marker? Who is our ideal customer? Where are they? How do we go find them? So that's on the education side from a financial resource. The other one is on the funding side. And so we partner with funders in two ways. One is what we would call dilutive or equity funders. So these are investors who give you money and get a percentage of your business. Those can be angel investors, which are typically individuals investing very early. It's tended to be thought of as high risk, but it's really to help seed a lot of these entrepreneurs and get them off the ground. So all the way up to typical venture capital that seems to be a little more formalized and has a lot more terminology to it. So absolutely, if we want to help the entrepreneur understand the types of funding and then prepare them to pitch, to take those meetings. That's on the dilutive equity side. The non-dilutive, the non-equity side, we would consider things like awards or grants. We would talk there about debt is one word, but lines of credit. And so we work with local providers and other resources. A lot of banks, we definitely believe in having a relationship with a local banker well before you think you need to leverage a line of credit in order to grow, purchase order financing, you name it. And again, let's connect you with the right resource. Several local banks have specific programs that can benefit founders of color, female founders, founders in certain industries, first-time founders based on background. We're trying our best. It's ever changing, but to map that to say, let me tell you about this opportunity. And then ditto on the grant side. There's ways that entrepreneurs can apply for awards, cash prizes, whether those are through pitch competitions or other businesses that are giving away that seed capital or those seed gifts to help folks off the ground. So we're working hard at mapping all of that, but then just also to help entrepreneurs understand the difference. We all love Shark Tank. Who doesn't? It's great TV. It's highly edited TV. I equate it, again, we're a music town, right? I mean,
That's right.
it's what American Idol did for the singing. It's like, I can just show up in line and sing and get on TV and I'll be famous. That happens to like one person a year.
Yeah.
Shark Tank's kind of the same way. Like you can go in front of these people and get an investment and maybe, but it's at least brought that conversation, I think, into our common vernacular more than it's ever been.
Yeah.
But we also want to level set that not every business can raise venture capital.
Sure.
It's not like you see on TV.
Yeah.
but a lot can. And so let's just help you understand that so you don't, again, waste time knocking on doors that just either won't be open to you or Nashville's a friendly town. They might be open, but it wasn't really worth anybody's
Right.
time. So let's level set that.
Sure.
Yeah, great. So I know that you all also have a podcast.
We do.
Right? What's going on with that podcast?
Yeah, so this is our 5th season. It's a podcast called Circle Back. And so my predecessor, Jane Allen, had a great idea to really feature Nashville entrepreneurs, I would say iconic, well-known, noteworthy Nashville-based entrepreneurs who have, quote, circled back. And meaning they have started their company, grown their company, likely sold their company or had some financial success, and then circled back to invest, give back to the next generation of entrepreneurs. And it's been our attempt to capture those stories. Some folks have been on there who have passed away, and we're so lucky that we got to hear their story in their own words while they were alive. And so each season we produce, this season will be about 10 episodes. We release one a month where we feature these people who have built businesses, some of which we know and love and can name here in Nashville. Other folks might have been below the radar or under the radar, behind the scenes in growing what they've done, but just telling that story because everybody is sort of it rhymes. It's not the same song, but it rhymes because there's failure.
Yeah.
There's the need for a mentor. There's times when they thought about giving up. There's adversity. You name it. And it's so great to hear those in their own words, ways that might be a lesson or helpful tips for
Sure.
today's entrepreneurs.
Today's entrepreneurs can definitely identify with parts of stories and stuff. Yeah. We ask everybody who's on this podcast this question: what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone starting out as an entrepreneur or small business owner?
One line I like to say very often is the height of my success is directly related to the depth of my community. The height of my success is directly related to the depth of my community. And anytime I've had any success in life, it is not up to me. It is because of the community, the people around me who have made me better. Yeah. The opposite is true too. Anytime I've failed, it's because I've thought, oh, no, I got it. I don't need any help. And so I remind entrepreneurs of that, even though there's this story out there, it's a myth that the lone wolf, the person who was like, I did it all, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, and it's never true. There's always somebody else or a lot of somebody's else. So the advice it equates to is build your network or build your community before you need it. A lot of times we think, sales are lagging. I need to go find the right sales consultant. Well, let's get to know one now when sales are good, or whether it's a legal person or, again, just a support group. A lot of what we see with our community is entrepreneurs just getting together to talk.
Yeah.
Because you're at the top. It's maybe just you for a while before you can make a hire. And it can get real lonely real fast. And so the more that we can resource people with community, the farther these companies will go. So I always say continue to build that community. Even if you think things are growing great, you can always use somebody else in your corner.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. What's the best way someone can get in touch with y'all?
So our website, ec.co, is the best way. You can find, again, contact forms on there. We welcome anybody to stop by. So we're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, Fridays, 8 to 4. People can stop by, come by the front desk, ask for Trina or Trey. And so they're our awesome part of our community team that would love to give folks a tour. But you can also just fill out a form and schedule something. I get it if you don't want to drop by. Then we're on the socials, of course. We're on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. So we're pretty active on there. A lot of what we share there is not what we're doing, but what our entrepreneurs are doing. And so we really want to amplify their successes. So if you want to hear that or see that in their own words, is the success they're having, check us out on LinkedIn or on Instagram.
Cool.
Very awesome. Well, thank you, Sam.
Yeah,
we really
you bet.
appreciate
This is
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Love that you guys are doing this because, again, the ecosystem is better because of this, because as Nashville grows, there are so many resources. So glad you guys are collecting them in this easily digestible, easily findable format. So thank you all.
That's the
right.
goal. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You bet.
All right. Well, again, we are business as usual. My name is Bailey, and I'm with
Corey,
and Sam. Thank you again for joining us on this podcast.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
for having me.
All right.